Jay Oliver here, in for Big Vic. Hey, listen, we got a great guest here, Sergio Michel and his Tropical Depression Concert Party. And it's coming on March the 4th over at Lake Park. 6 o'clock start. Great to have you. Great to meet you, sir.
Hey, big guy. How are you?
What's up?
Glad to be here.
Man, a concert. Lake Park. I'm going to be there on the 4th. That's a Thursday, I do believe, right?
Yes, sir.
Next Thursday. Give me a little idea. What's that all about? What's going on with this big party? I didn't get a personal invite, so I'm just going to show up.
Just show up. You'll get in. Well, anyway, the premise of Tropical Depression, it's a dual vinyl concept album.
Yeah.
Right? And it has to do with the way society is. I've lived in South Beach proper, and I've lived in Los Angeles proper, and I've observed some very strange behavior that somebody has to talk about. So I decided to make a magnum opus here, just highlighting that lunacy that I've observed over the years. And the release party is basically a concert party. So doors are at 6 over in Lake Park.
Yep.
We're going to have...
It's over at the Kelsey Theater, by the way.
Yeah. We have rock playing all the time, your favorite rock songs, lively rock songs playing all the time. And sometime in the middle of that party, we're going to have a little concert, and then we'll continue the party after the concert. So it's one big thing.
That's a massive party, man.
Yes.
Those are my types of parties. You're listening to Sergio Michel. He is indeed an American hard rock musician. We're talking about a headliner here, folks, a national level headliner. How'd you get into the business?
Well, when I was 4 years old, I saw David Lee Roth doing spin kicks on MTV, because I was raised on television like a lot of kids in my generation.
One of my favorites way back.
Oh, yeah.
With Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, and I jumped off a couch and broke my arm on a table. So,
wow.
Earliest memory, because a lot of pain there. But I said, you know what? I like both those guys. I like Roth and I like Eddie. Why can't somebody be both? And it always was in the back of my mind. And then when I started playing music, that's what I went for. So be very, very technical, but be rock and roll and showy as well.
That is unbelievable. Now, Tropical Depression, that's a 19-song concept album, correct? And
yes, sir.
That's what the launch is all about next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent. And how long did it take you to do all that?
It took me about 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I started the tracking about 5 years ago.
Yep.
And in the interim, I put out 3 other releases, which is hilarious to me. I was able to finish 3 other things and continue this one. But I was paying close attention to this album. What I wanted to do was an album that's true to rock and roll, classic rock, hard rock, but it's still commercial.
Nice.
So I did the writing. I did the drums.
You did everything here. Yeah,
I initially did the drums myself, but I did it. I work more on D drums or even if an organic drum, but I'm not a drummer per se.
Right.
So I said, you know what, this isn't sounding like a drummer. So I held off and I got Rob Tucker, who's the drummer for Metallica's former Metallica bassist Jason Newsted. So they have a Chop House band operating out of Jupiter. That's where I live. So I got Rob to come in the studio and do the drums, and finally we're done with the album. So
that is outrageous, man. And it's all happening next Thursday. I'm looking forward to it. 6 o'clock over at the Kelsey Lake Park. And, you know, headlining world-famous venues like Whiskey A Go-Go.
Yeah.
How about that? Also the Rainbow Bar and Grill, the Viper Room, and... that's a pretty good deal, the Viper Room way back, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So, the last 4 years before, I came back to Florida in August.
Yeah. Now, you're a Jersey guy, right? Are you a Jersey guy?
From Hoboken, yeah. From Hoboken, OB.
Hoboken, you know what I'm saying.
But I went over to California, and I didn't follow what everyone else does. A lot of people go to California unprepared, or want to join a cover band. And so I went straight in there hot, and I said, look, this is the level of talent I am. This is what I can do. So I stepped in straight into the headliner position. And for 4 straight years, that's what I did. And then right before COVID, I went on tour with Soulfly, which is a big metal band. And right when the tour ended in Texas, that's the day the lockdown started. So for the past 5 years, it's just been hitting all cylinders, and so it's been pretty good.
I mean, most guys when they try and get a notch up as far as the business is concerned, I mean, how tough was it? And finally to get noticed and everything else, you had some great venues and everything. Yeah. But how tough was it to finally get that that break, so to speak?
It wasn't, because I'm brick and mortar. I'm a lot like the 70s guys, Kiss and the New York Dolls and the Misfits. I still, to this day, you have a flyer here. I still, to this day, flyer, ticket, put up posters and things like that. So I have a very DIY New York style type of advertising. And from day one, I said, look, I can rate myself. I know what level I can operate at.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going to be. It's either here or nothing. So if I'm not here, I'm not playing, I'm not performing, I'm not even talking about music. So I started there and just kept building up. While everyone else kind of built their career in a way where they wanted somebody to discover them, I said, no, I'm already the man. I'm going to go out there and do what I got to do.
So you had a lot of confidence. I mean, obviously,
right.
The confidence is key in this business.
Right, and that's what separated me from the pack. So everyone else was kind of doing anything and everything to hope somebody noticed them. I said, look, I don't need to get noticed. I'm already here. If you want to work with me, like I see a record label coming to work with me. Not I'm begging you, please put out my album. I'm like, no, that's what really differentiated me from the pack.
Nice.
And I just went out there with that attitude. I'm like, look, it's either this or nothing, and it worked.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Now come clean, Serge, because that's a pretty cool name you got.
Yeah.
Sergio Michel.
Yeah.
I mean, come clean. Is that your real name?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Birth name. It's my dad's
I had to
name
ask you that, pal.
and my grandpa's name.
No, that's good stuff. So, I mean, it sounds like, listen, I mean, it's going to be, I mean, is there anything like playing in West Palm?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Good stuff.
I'll tell you what. It's a big venue.
Kelsey Theater?
Yeah, it's standing room. Their sound system is new. They have a video projection screen. I have a legend drummer joining me.
Who's that?
Ron Hunter from a band called Fury, New York Fury.
Okay.
From the 80s. They were really,
now
really big.
that rings a bell to me.
Yeah, they were huge. Basically, and I'll go ahead and say
that's my old neck of the woods.
Yeah, Long Island.
Yeah.
So basically, Kiss. I'm going to say some people from Kiss ripped off their stage show. So all those big lights and all that stuff. Not Kiss per se, but some members that were in Kiss.
Right.
Let's say that went on to other things, but they had that big, large New York. So Ron's coming out of retirement to play this show. He just retired from drums, and he's like, no, I got to do this. So you got legends there, you got all the cool people from West Palm, and the purpose is, look, everybody's locked up at home.
Yeah.
You're going out for coffee anyway. You're going out to see cover bands. Come see a real like Hollywood, New York like rock show and have a party. Just come out.
And
Don't stay home.
And it sounds great because it's almost like you have a combination effect from all these different venues and places, a little West Coast, a little East Coast, where you grew up, New York, Viper Room, and it sounds like kind of coming together in West Palm. It's going to be a wonderful show.
Yeah. East Coast is my sound, so I have a very New York street sound that you could hear, even if I play like clean music, because I do some acoustic stuff as well, you still hear the, that's just who I am. You can't grow up around New York City and not be tough. You can't do it.
You can't.
And then when I moved out to the West Coast, that's where I made it, though. So I stuck out.
And it's very laid back there as far as your audience and everything else. It's completely different than East Coast.
Oh, East Coast people jump off a rafter. When we went on tour with Soulfly, it was I was on the East Coast leg from Buffalo down to Texas, and the crowds were amazing. In California, you could pack a room and everybody has their arms crossed because that's just how they are. But in the East Coast, they don't care. They'll throw their friend out a window just to, it's rock and roll. And the guy's like, yeah, glass sticking out of his head. But it's different. The East Coast is very, very different from the West.
Yeah, no question. Listen, I'm looking forward to it. It's next Thursday, March 4th, ladies and gentlemen, 6 o'clock in the evening. It's Sergio Michel's Tropical Depression Concert Party. And let me tell you, a hell of a launch coming up for this great, great album. That is going to be hitting in a big way. 19 songs altogether, right?
Yes, sir.
We got 19 songs, and it's going to be a hell of a party. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, it was a pleasure meeting you, my friend.
Same here. Thank you for having me.
The great Sergio Michel sitting in for Big Vic. Jay Oliver here. Look forward to the next time. Have a great one.